ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Wish everyone a very happy Sri Narasimha Chaturdasi. So today, very important day for all of us for spiritual progress. Every day is important, but some days are more important than the other. And mostly when we talk about Narasimha Dev, devotees think about protection, isn't it? Devotees think about material protection. So there's some danger in our life. We say, Narasimha Dev Bhagavan ki jai, Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu. Now, Narasimha Dev is not, we are not supposed to worship Narasimha Dev for material protection. See, if you see in Vrajalila, now in Vrajalila actually nobody is worshipping Narasimha Dev. Whatever big asuras are coming, whom are they calling out? They are calling out for Krishna. Now then why are we worshipping Narasimha Dev here? This was some question that was there in my mind only, and Krishna is making me speak on this. So we should understand that, this verse is key for us. This is the reason why we are worshipping Narasimha Dev. This fifth canto, 18, chapter 8 verse. So the reason we are actually worshipping Narasimha Dev is because our material consciousness is the Hiranyakashipu in our life. So we need to destroy this material consciousness. And we don't have the strength to destroy material consciousness. We can't destroy that Hiranyakashipu in us. And so we take shelter of Narasimha Dev to destroy this material consciousness, not for material protection, not for physical protection. Of course, body is required. Like in the case of Prahlad, body is required, so that the Lord will protect. But he came actually to protect the devotion of the devotee. See, think. Narasimha Dev did not appear when Prahlad was falling from the top of the mountain. He appeared only later. So this is the most significant aspect of devotion is the faith that Prahlad had in the Supreme Lord, right? And the Lord's appearance to destroy the obstacles in our path of bhakti. So which is why we say Bhakti Vigna Vinashak Narasimha Bhagwan ki jai. But while we only glorify in Lord Narasimha Dev in that way, in our day-to-day life, we are praying to Narasimha Dev for general protection. Maybe we should slightly raise our consciousness on this day. While, of course, the bodily protection is required, but can we raise our bhakti standard to seek protection or to seek destruction of our material consciousness? So we'll chant this verse from 5th canto, and then We will actually just discuss Prahlad's amazing qualities, because the more and more we read about this, the more and more we should like to develop qualities like Prahlad. Hmm. It's so amazing actually. Every verse describing Prahlad Maharaj can give us goosebumps. Such an exalted devotee, such an exalted surrender. Hmm. So we'll first chant this, because without chanting this, without getting rid of our material consciousness, we can't think of the stage of Prahlada. Hmm. So we'll chant this, and please remember uh, to seek protection from material obstacles on the path of bhakti, and not just material protection for the sake of protection. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so we'll chant this verse, and like I've said this multiple times, please mark this verse and chant this daily as part of your prayers, as part of your puja, whatever you do at home. Every day chant this. It's very, very powerful, and it is required for us to get rid of our material consciousness. Om Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya. Everybody can repeat. Namastejas Tejase Avirbhava Vajranakha Vajradamshtra Karmashayan Randhaya Randhaya Tamograsa Grasa Om Swaha Abhayam Abhayam Atmani Bhuishta Om Shraum. So I'll read the translation and by heart this verse. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Narasimha Dev, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possess nails and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. This is the prayer. Randhaya Randhaya, Karma Ashayan. See the words here. Karma Ashayan, demoniac desires. To be happy by material activities. Hmm. You want to be happy in this material world, materially happy. So prayer that Prahlad Maharaj is offering here is Randhaya Randhaya, vanquish. Vanquish these desires for material well-being, material happiness. Tamograsa, tama, that tamas, that ignorance, that, you know, that is what is our problem. So please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance. Grasa, drive away, drive away. Abhayam, abhayam atmani. Hmm. So that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. See, this is so important. We don't have to fear at all. We don't have to fear this material world. We don't have to fear this material existence. Prahlada in his prayers, to Narasimha Dev, he says that I am not afraid of this material world, but I am worried about these fools and rascals, Prabhupada says, who don't want to do devotion. I am worried for them out of compassion. So devotees should not be afraid of this material world. Narasimha Dev is there. Any obstacle that comes on our path, Narasimha Dev is there. He will help. He will protect us. But really our focus needs to be our own heart. The nonsense that is sitting in our heart. And this is a major problem, because I see that devotees are all, they're trying to do devotion, but their hearts is full with anarthas, full of anarthas. I see devotees complaining about others, and always we are just thinking about other people, other devotees only all the time. And when we think about other devotees, the only thing that comes into our mind is negativity. Or we want to work, we want to earn money, we want to make economic advancement. These are all the Hiranyakashipu-like desires in our heart. It's very difficult to digest this. Like I keep saying, every time we speak about such heavy things, then people say, no, 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 how can it be? We are in this material world, we have to earn money. Yeah, but that is already predetermined. Why are we so worried about it? Why are we bothered about it? Hmm. And today, at least, I'm very happy that, yesterday I requested so many devotees. I mean, I just put a message in the group saying that please come for Mangalarti. And so many devotees turned up, and I was so happy. I was praying that can this happen every day? Can devotees come every day? See, this is what is required. Our focus cannot just be our material life. It's okay, it's there. Like, okay, we can continue, we can carry on. But at the same time, I don't want to quote names of devotees, but there are so many devotees who are literally crying within, saying, I can't attend Mangalarti. I can't attend morning program. I can't attend the evening program. My work is holding me back. Okay, inevitable. At least till we are in the city, it is inevitable. Which is why very soon, by Lord Narasimha Dev's blessings, we should think of moving away from this nonsense city. Because then devotees can happily do devotion. But for those whose hearts are still filled with desires, these prayers are very, very important. Mm. So we should pray to remove this demon like desires for material happiness. Krishna will take care, like it is shown in this pastime. Like Narasimhadev, Vishnu took care of Prahlada, then Narasimhadev appeared. Everybody is there to take care of us. Why should we worry? Okay, so please chant this verse on a daily basis. Okay, this is very, very important. So we have to become fearless in the struggle for existence because actually we are foolish and we have come here and this material world is padam padam yat vipadam. Every step is dangerous in this material world. Mm. And we don't know what is going to happen. So we depend helplessly like a child on the Lord. That's all. But our effort has to be to remove these material demon like desires for happiness, for good family, for everything going the way we want. And some devotees give examples saying that, Prabhu, if all that is there, then I don't have any obstacle in my devotion. If all material things go as required, not as required, as expected by me, then I don't have any obstacle in devotion. But that itself is the obstacle. That itself is the obstacle that you want the material life to be smooth and free of obstacles. That itself is the biggest obstacle in our devotion. So pray to Narasimhadev saying that give me the strength. Give me the strength to even pray like this. We don't even have the strength to pray like this. Hmm? Do we have the strength to just like give up, ignore our material life? Not many. Those who have are fortunate. Those who don't have, please pray that this whole expectation about having a happy, smooth material life, just let it go off from our heart. The only thing we should desire is uh, pure devotional service, loving devotional service. So now we'll go to the 7th canto, chapter 4. Okay, and I'm going to just read through some verses glorifying Prahlad Maharaj's great qualities. Because Prahlad Maharaj is the epitome. He is the representative of this, um, fearless surrender to Krishna. He had no fear. At the age of 5, he had no fear. I was just seeing these kids today. They were all playing inside, and one child is, crawling like a tiger or whatever, and going towards others, and all screaming. And I was just thinking, saying that, Prahlad, he was put in front of real poisonous animals, ferociously looking asuras coming with tridents, to pierce his body. He's being given poison. He's being thrown from the top of a hill. He's been put under the feet of elephants. And I mean, I was just thinking, saying that how would it be? 5-year-old children here today morning, they're all so fortunate souls. They come every day for Mangalarti, and which most adults are not able to do. And these kids are coming, and I was seeing that, see, just just mock. They're trying to scare each other, and children are scared and shouting. And I was thinking, saying that what is the position of Prahlad? Hmm. What an exalted soul. And it's not even that Prahlad had some very great history of devotion. Think about Prahlad's life, right? Just complete, full surrender to the words of Guru. That's all, right? He was just one ordinary Brahmana in his previous life, and that too had some affair with some prostitute. I mean, like low class. But he was born in a Brahmana family and happened to do some upavas, like, he fasted on the Narasimha Chaturdasi day. So he got the benediction to become a great devotee. That was his only, credit. That somehow he fasted. The whole night he fasted. So he didn't have any great history of being a big devotee for many lifetimes. Hmm. And then people will tell us, oh, no, 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 Prabhu. And this is such an offensive statement. They'll say, Prabhu, no, but here Narada Muni as the Guru. Which means what does the statement mean? What does that statement mean? When somebody says, no, no, he became such a great devotee because Narada Muni was his Guru. Meaning, our Gurus are like, loitering in the street. That means we don't have faith in our Gurus. Is that complete surrender that Prahlad, even being in the womb of the mother, he heard whatever Narada Muni was saying and he accepted it. That was just his fortune. Of course, a benefit for him was that he actually, of course, great devotee, and he very attentively heard in the womb. That was his fortune, right? But then he became such a great devotee, and his qualities. And Narada Muni here is telling Yudhishthira, like, everybody, even Asuras, glorify Prahlada. Why only devotees? Even Asuras glorify Prahlada. Such a great personality he became. And when we hear about his qualities, it really inspires. Many times I've read this, I just feel so inspired, saying that, yes, we can also do this by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. We can also reach this stage. Not pride, but faith. There's a big difference between pride and faith, right? When somebody says, yes, yes, I will achieve, I will go back to God at this life. What is it? Is it pride or faith? Huh? Maybe pride. But he's saying that I will go back. He didn't say that by his own effort. So you are understanding it as pride. But he's saying that I have so much faith in Guru and Prabhupada and Krishna that I know I will go back home, back to God. It's his full faith and surrender. Right? So if somebody says, no, no, I will do everything, I know that I will, do the required to go back to Godhead, then it's pride. But if somebody says, I know I will go back to Godhead, he didn't say anything else after that. Of course, you looked at me and you felt, okay, I am speaking out of pride. But you should just think about, a devotee who is speaking like this. It's just because of full faith. He has full faith in Prabhupada's words. He has full faith in Guru. He surrendered and he says, yes, this lifetime, one lifetime. Why multiple lifetimes? And Prahlad was so surrendered. And Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavatya kinchana sarvair gunays tatra samasate suraha. Yasya asti bhagavati akinchana. Akinchana bhakti means pure, unalloyed, single pointed, focused. Akinchana actually means that nothing, no material possession. right? Like, which means that apart from devotion, there is no other wealth in that life, in the devotee's life. That is the only wealth. Yasya asti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvair gunes tatra samasate suraha. Sura means demigods. All the good qualities of the demigods appear in the devotee. Meaning, it's not that the devotee is now only having qualities of demigods. Those qualities of demigods are in the mode of sattva and they automatically appear. They automatically appear. But what is the real qualification of the devotee? Is his love for Krishna. That is cannot be compared to anybody. But this is just the foundational qualities which are required. And without these foundational qualities, it is difficult to get Krishna prema. So in this sequence of verses, there is description about Prahlad's qualities which can be appreciated as sattvic qualities and also his love for the Supreme Lord. All these things are glorified in this set of verses. So we will just read, to get inspired, to get purified. Text 30. So I'm reading from text 30 here. Hiranyakashipu had 4 wonderful, well-qualified sons, of whom the one named Prahlada was the best. Indeed, Prahlada was a reservoir of all transcendental qualities because he was an unalloyed devotee of the personality of Godhead. This is what I just said, right? Yasya asti bhagati bhakti bhagavati akinchana. So he was an unalloyed devotee. So sarvair gunes tatra samasate suraha. So here, this verse is saying that he had all transcendental qualities. Ahlada means happiness. Prahlada ahladadaine. Prahlada ahladadaine. Hiranyakashipu is Prahlada ahladadaine. Meaning, he gives happiness to Prahlada, who is already happy. So he was a reservoir of all transcendental qualities. The qualities of Maharaja Prahlada are described herewith. He was completely cultured as a qualified Brahmana. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that one has to be Brahmin initiated. Of course, if one is Brahmin initiated, he should have these qualities, or at least he should work towards developing these qualities. But generally, a Vaishnava should have these Brahminical qualities. Otherwise, we are in the lower modes. Prabhupada said that ISKCON was established to create a new class of superior Brahmanas. But unfortunately, devotees remain in the modes of ignorance and passion. Because they're not doing pure devotion. If they're not doing pure devotion, they can't transcend the modes. Mamcha yoga abhyavipcharini bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan. He will transcend the modes. Who does abhyavicharini bhakti, ananya bhakti, shuddha bhakti, kevala bhakti? So we should develop these qualities: samadama, titiksha, arjava, all these qualities, right? So we should be tolerant. We should be tolerant with the body. We should be tolerant with the mind. We should be peaceful. We should have sense control, mind control. Should be simplicity in our life. There should be knowledge. There should be practical knowledge, vijnana. And there should be religiousness. Religious means following all these rules. So he was a qualified Brahmana, having very good character. See, apart from having all these qualities, he also has very good character. Please don't mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Please don't unmute yourself. Simple distraction. Please don't mute yourself, otherwise I'll have to just block it. There's no discussion right now till the end of the class. Okay. So he had very good character and being determined to understand the absolute truth. See, this is a very, very important qualification. Determination. I see devotees chanting in the morning. There is no energy at all behind the chanting. They're all tired, physically tired, mentally tired. It's a fight. Morning chanting is a fight. Against our own mode of ignorance. It's a fight. How much energetic we have to be. How much determined we have to be to overcome this. So we should learn from Prahlada that he was determined to achieve perfection, to understand the absolute truth. Again, in the 17th or 18th chapter, Krishna talks about determination, Dhruti, Satviki, Rajasiki, and Tamasic determination. The Sattvic determination means you can't shake that person. And it's with the intent of self-realization that he becomes determined, come what may, whatever obstacles come. I want to make progress. That determination. And again, this determination is not self-generated, meaning it's not the determination in my ability, it's the determination in Krishna's mercy, in the instructions of Guru. So it's with humility. So this is the difference between so-called mundane, passionate determination. Passionate determination is, I'll go and achieve things. But this determination is on the platform of false ego, meaning I can do it. But the determination of a devotee is based on humility and full faith that Krishna is there. I have the desire, I will make the effort, Krishna is there, he'll help me, so I will succeed. And he is determined. People will come and try to shake his, faith or distract him. Saying, come, there is a function, you have to attend. Okay, then you attend. Then they'll say, no, eat curd rice. You have to have determination to say, sorry, I have some practices and I can't eat this. So he was determined to understand the absolute truth. He had full control of his senses and mind. Like the super soul, he was kind to every living entity and was the best friend of everyone. Just think about these qualities when you're hearing this. Just envision, put yourself in the situation where you've developed these qualities. I always do this. I'm far from these qualities and I always think, saying, I want to think about that day when my mind and senses are fully controlled. Or when I can be very kind to every living being. And when people come to me feeling that I'm their best friend. You should desire these qualities and this position. We should hanker for this position. Why can't we just hanker for Krishna Prema? Of course, we can hanker for Krishna Prema, but without these qualities anyway, like we can't even dream about it. So first is to become a proper Vaishnava. That's what our goal should be. And we are thinking just by doing chanting Hare Krishna, reading books, I become a Vaishnava. No. Unless it shows in our behavior. How humble we are, how surrendered we are, how knowledgeable we are in terms of practical dealings. Unfortunately, this is one big area of training I've been thinking. Practical training to deal with people and life and situations. I see the devotees somehow, they are not trained, unfortunately not materially trained, and they don't know how to deal with people in general. And we are preaching movement. We need to know how to deal with people. So many times I tell people saying that, if that's not a person, actually, even if you know the devotee or you don't know the devotee, if the devotee is looking at you, unless you are chanting Hare Krishna, okay, when it's not right to get distracted. But if suppose somebody is looking at you, it doesn't matter what you are doing. Just turn, look into them, into their eyes and smile. What does it take? It just shows that our respect and love for Vaishnavas. But I see that we are in our own mind. We are not outside. We are not outside. And see, this thing about being shy and all that we should keep it outside. Meaning, shy meaning I'm saying that I'm very reserved, I'm very introvert. All this is For Krishna Bhakti, we can't be an introvert with Krishna, right? Can we be introvert with Krishna? Krishna will come and talk to us and say, Krishna, no, I don't talk much with you. My nature is that I don't talk to you. No, we can't do that. That is all material. That is all conditioning. I was telling some devotee saying that before I came into Krishna consciousness, if somebody had to extract words out of me, they would, they're like, they can be given some award if they made me speak. I was such an introvert that literally I used to just stand behind, farthest away, mm, to make sure that nobody will call me to speak or say anything. Or, I used to be just behind. People don't believe. If you ask my mother, she used to say she was always behind me holding my pallu. I mean, I used to be this kind of a person, but Krishna consciousness is like that. We can't just be in our own conditioned state. So if you are generally looking like this, when you come inside the temple, look like this. Look at people, interact with people, smile with people. This is Krishna consciousness. So we have to understand. We have to understand saying what is required for us to make progress. And of course, all our dealings should be on the platform of respect and love and care for Vaishnavas. Mm. But we should give up this nature. Otherwise, how can people come and speak to us? People will feel we are not approachable. It's a big challenge for preachers. You have to be heavy on the Vyasasana, but when you come out, people should be approachable. It's difficult. I also work on it all the time. It's difficult. And every Vaishnava they have their own ways of making themselves approachable. But we have to be the best friend, meaning somebody gets into trouble, first person that should come in their mind is that devotee, is a devotee. We should be that devotee. Not because we are going to get some fame, because we will be serving other Vaishnavas and the whole society at large. To respectable persons, he acted exactly like a menial servant. To the poor, he was like a father. To his equals, he was attached like a sympathetic brother. See how we have to behave, how we have to deal with other people. Respectable persons, menial servant. To the poor, he was like a father. Poor means not just materially poor, spiritually poor. To his equals, he was attached like a sympathetic brother. And he considered his teachers, spiritual masters, and older god brothers. This Prabhupada is adding. Older god brothers. To be as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada sometimes in his translation, he adds some concurrent issues in ISKCON, right? Possibly some, senior god brothers in ISKCON were not being respected at that time. So Prabhupada adds, saying that this is good for us. He was completely free from unnatural pride. What is natural pride? What is unnatural pride? What is natural pride? What is natural pride? Is there anything like natural pride? Prabhupada could have just written from pride. Being a servant of Krishna is a matter of great pride. It's a matter of great pride. We should be proud that we are servants of Krishna. Of course, that pride doesn't come across as something that we have achieved. It's just that, I know Krishna, it's that kind of pride. So it is required. Devotees should have that, they should feel proud to be devotees of Krishna. Not putting our head down. No, lift your head and say, yes, I'm a devotee of Krishna. But the unnatural pride is material, concerned with the body and our own ability, etc. And generally, Prabhupada is saying this unnatural pride that might have arisen from his good education, riches, beauty, aristocracy. So somebody has all these things in the material world, they become proud. See, I have so much money, I have so much position, I'm so beautiful, I'm this, I'm that. So he was, you just imagine, he was the son of the, possibly the richest guy, right? At that time. He was this Hiranyakashipu had taken over all the three worlds. Who could have been more powerful, more influential, more rich, etc., than Hiranyakashipu? But none of this actually entered Prahlad's heart. He just didn't even bother about all these things. Although Prahlada was born in a family of Asuras, he himself was not an Asura, but a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. Unlike the other Asuras, he was never envious of Vaishnavas. Envy of Vaishnava is Asuric quality. What is envy of Vaishnava? Seeing something good in others and feeling, no. He's just we try to pull that Vaishnava down. No, he's not so exalted like you're thinking. Somebody is thinking high about a Vaishnava and say, no, he's not so great. He did like this. This is envy. And this is Asurik. We fail to see the good qualities in others. This is our problem. We should see good qualities in others. He was not agitated when put into danger. This is the biggest thing, right? He was put into danger. He was not agitated. He had full faith. In what? He did not have full faith in not that, oh, no, I'm sure, 100% sure that Krishna will protect. No, not even that kind of faith. His faith was, I'm devotee, I will keep doing my devotion. If Krishna wants, he will protect my body. This kind of faith. Just not even asking for anything. He was neither directly nor indirectly interested in fruitive activities described in the Vedas. Of course, for us, it's not fruitive activities, it is sense gratification. We are not even so advanced, right? Fruitive activities means at least karma kanda, pious activities. Kali Yuga is just sense gratification, which is mostly vikarma, low class, rajasic, tamasic. But he didn't even want the sattvic way of happiness. Indeed, he considered everything material to be useless. Can you consider everything material to be useless? And he was completely devoid of material desires. He had no desires. He didn't want anything. We have some small desires, no? We have small material desires. Like somebody once came and told me saying that, Prabhu, I have a very small desire. I said, what is that? I said, I just want my family to be happy. I said, impossible. Is the biggest desire you were wanting. It's not possible in this material world. It's just not possible, right? Yeah, it's possible. When everybody becomes devotees and gives up material desires, then there's possibility of happiness. Possibility. He always controlled his senses and life air, and being of steady intelligence and determination, subdued all lusty desires. See, very, very important statement. See, we need steady intelligence and determination. Our determination and intelligence is unsteady. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But his was steady. This is the stage of Nishta. When everything is steady, the life of a devotee is steady. His sadhana is steady, his seva is steady, his consciousness is steady, his determination is steady, his intelligence is steady, everything is steady. Steady, fixed. No ups and downs. When one's intelligence and determination is steady, he will not fall for material desires. Because constantly is aware that I am not the body, I am spirit soul, I am servant of Krishna, and I am determined not to fall down to this material world, material platform. He is steady. So he will never do anything which will bring him down. Which is why I said, these qualities might be far from us. At least I can speak about myself. Many of these qualities are like far, far, far from me. But I desire them. I aspire for them. I hanker for them. And why should we hanker for all this? We should just remember subsequently when all of this was over and Prahlada just fell at Narasimha lotus feet. Narasimha was so happy looking at Prahlada. He was so happy. All his anger just vanished in a second. Till then, everybody was like shaking. And Prahlada just came and offered obeisances and just stood with hands folded in front of him. And Narasimha is happy. This is what we should desire, that one day my Guru will be happy with whatever I'm doing. Krishna will be happy. Prabhupada will be happy. And to be able to achieve that position, we have to work. We have to work on these things. Prahlad Maharaj's good qualities are still glorified by learned saints and Vaishnavas. As all good qualities are always found existing in the Supreme Lord, they also exist forever in his devotee Prahlad Maharaj. And I want to talk about some more deeper things here. In any SM, so we'll be little over time today. So those who are busy you can please go. In any assembly where there are discourses about saints and devotees, O King Yudhishthira, even the enemies of the demons, namely the demigods, what to speak of you, would cite Prahlad Maharaj as an example of a great devotee. Who could list the innumerable transcendental qualities of Prahlad Maharaj? Who is saying this? His own guru is saying, just note this. Who is speaking here? Narada Muni. Narada Muni is saying, he's my disciple, but I can't like list his transcendental qualities. I mean, what an exalted devotee he is. He had unflinching faith in Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, and unalloyed devotion to him. Unflinching faith, unalloyed devotion. Unflinching means not shaking, not shaky faith. Actually, very, very interesting. We are meeting some, with respect to the temple construction. So we are meeting some people. And one person, he's not devotee, but he's somehow, yeah, he Krishna consciousness, and possibly from Udupi side, from Madhva Sampradaya or something like that, but not living as a devotee. Okay, and we were talking to him about our temple construction, etc. And then he said one thing which just struck me so hard. He said, saying, from the beginning, I have faith that this temple will come. He said, I mean, he has nothing to do with ISKCON or anything, right? And he was, of course, he helped us in getting this place and all that. He said, I don't know about all of you, but I have faith that Krishna is come here and Krishna will, like the faith with which he said. I mean, I could see in his eyes that he really had that. He was just not speaking out of, just to please us or anything like that. And it really hit me, saying that, somebody who is not really trying to even seriously practice devotion, is living material life, doing this, doing that and all, but look at his faith in Krishna. I was really touched. I said, what about us? We should have such unflinching faith in Krishna. Unflinching faith in Krishna that he will do everything that is right for our progress in devotion. We should have that faith. That was Prahlad. And unalloyed devotion. Pure devotion to Krishna. His attachment to Lord Krishna was natural because of his previous devotional service. What was his previous devotional service? Huh? No, that he didn't even know. That was Agnata Sukruti. He didn't even know that he did devotion. His devotion was he heard from Narada Muni. That he heard from Narada Muni. Because of that, he developed natural attachment to Krishna. See, this again highlighting our surrender to Guru. So if we surrender to our Guru, then natural attraction to Krishna will awaken. Natural attraction will awaken. All these good qualities cannot be enumerated. They prove that he was a great soul, Mahatma. From the very beginning of his childhood, Prahlada was uninterested in childish playthings. Today, even elders are interested in playthings, right? What are these playthings? A bike, some car, playthings, right? I mean, what is it? It's like you have to go from one place to another, but they'll say, no, Mercedes Benz is the best car. Anyway, I don't want to go into this. Indeed, he gave them up altogether and remained silent and dull, being fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Now, this silent and dull is not with devotees. He was silent and dull because he didn't have any devotees. So his only option was to just keep quiet. Right? But when does he show his real nature? Huh? When he's preaching. What silent and dull? He's like jumping up and down, and telling people saying that do Krishna Bhakti. No silent dull. I mean, now he's silent dull because, all asuras around him, what will he do? Being fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, since his mind was always affected by Krishna. Affected. He's affected. His mind was affected by Krishna consciousness. He could not understand how the world goes on being fully absorbed in activities of sense gratification. He's saying, why do people do this? Why can't people do Krishna Bhakti? He could not understand. Now we go deeper and deeper. Prahlada was always absorbed in thought of Krishna, thus being always embraced by the Lord. He did not know his bodily necessities, such as sitting, walking, eating, lying down, drinking, talking. All these were being automatically performed. See, this is stage of prema. When the Lord is embracing Prahlada. Of course, Prahlada was in the mood of dasya. Prahlada was in Dasya Bhava. So it is like Rama and Hanuman, like Rama embraced Hanuman for his great service. It's like that, for his great servitude, the Lord is embracing Prahlad. Such an exalted position, which is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu repeatedly heard Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj's prayers. Hmm. So he reached the stage of devotion where the Lord is actually embracing him, and it is not an imagination. It's not that he's not simply thinking that the Lord is embracing him. No, he is actually being embraced by the Lord. And he did not know his bodily necessities. He did not know that he has to eat, he has to sleep, he has to take bath or whatever. He just didn't know. It was happening like a machine, a doll. You just give key, eat and leave it. Good, 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 good. It will do things one after the other. However, it is programmed. Like that, Prahlada had no external consciousness at all. No external consciousness, no material consciousness. He was simply absorbed in the thought of the Lord all that time. Exalted, right? We should desire this. When will that day come when Ekadashi happened? I didn't even notice. When I went without food for 5 days and I didn't even notice. Somebody was telling that, somebody met some Vaishnava and he was saying that he goes without food for like 30 days. Like that, as in just not on the bodily platform at all. Transcended. Mm. And hear such things, we should get like really inspired. Because of advancement in Krishna consciousness, he sometimes cried. Why crying? Why is he crying? Why do we cry? Why is he crying? No, but why?
Separation.
Separation, okay. Yeah, he's not seeing Krishna. He's not seeing Krishna, so he's crying. Then he laughs. Maybe he saw Krishna, or maybe Krishna made a joke. He's laughing. And sometimes he's expressing jubilation. He's happy. And he's singing loud, yes, my Krishna is here. So these are actual experience. This is actual experience that a devotee goes through. It's not his mind. It's not his mind. It's the reality that there are pure devotee experiences at the stage of perfection. And we saw that in our acharyas. Like Goswamis running around crying, Krishna, Radha, where are you? Are you Govardhan? Are you near Radha Kund? They're running away around. Saying, where are you? Where are you? Sometimes, upon seeing the person as Supreme Person of Godhead, Prahlad Maharaj would loudly call in full anxiety. Full anxiety. Anxiety, why? Maybe he was already anxious because he was not seeing the Lord. And as soon as he saw, he's shouting in loud anxiety and he's anxious that he is again going to go. Vipralamba, separation. He's loudly calling out. He sometimes lost his shyness in jubilation and began dancing in ecstasy. Sometimes, being fully absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, he felt oneness and imitated the pastimes of the Lord. This is even spoken about in the 10th canto, with respect to gopis. When Krishna left Rasa dance and went away, then the gopis went crazy and they started imitating Krishna's pastimes. And actually, it's anyway, that's a very exalted pastime. We'll not get into that, right? And this imitation means actually actually they will go into the mood of the Lord. It's not material. They go into the mood of the Lord. And Leela Shakti actually helps. For example, if the gopis have to think about Trinavarta, now one of them have to become a demon. Now, even in their dreams, they cannot become demons, wanting to kill Krishna. But then Leela Shakti gives them that mood that one of them actually becomes an Asura, who comes into the mood of Asura, and then some other gopi actually, strangles him and kills him like that. So this is where they can't think of, there's no separation. Kapila Muni talks about this separatist mood, separatist attitude, meaning thinking, doing different from Krishna. doing our own things. It's called separatist attitude. And oneness means exactly doing what the Lord wants. And that oneness is so much that they even forget their own separate existence. Sometimes it doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes. Sometimes, feeling the touch of the Lord's lotus hands, he became spiritually jubilant and remained silent. Literally, just imagine, like Krishna is touching. His hair standing on end and tears gliding down from his half closed eyes because of his love for the Lord. Such exalted devotion. Mm. Mm. And Vishaya Chadiya Kabe Shuddha Ho Man. All these things are possible only when we give up this Vishaya, material things, material desires. And mind has to become completely pure. Only then we can even think about these things. Such exalted state. Because of his association with perfect unalloyed devotees who had nothing to do with anything material. This is the type of association we should have. With devotees who have nothing to do with anything material. Prahlada constantly engaged in the service of the Lord's lotus feet. By seeing his bodily features, when he was in perfect ecstasy, persons very poor in spiritual understanding became purified just by looking at him. Just by looking at him in ecstasy, even non-devotees are just, they became purified. And this is what happened with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, just his form, the beauty of his form, the effulgence of his form, just by looking at it, people became devotees. Just by looking at him. What can we expect? Supreme Lord Krishna himself. And so are his devotees. Actually, even today, so many devotees who have personally met Prabhupada, they say that, some undescribable effulgence used to be around Prabhupada. They used to say, we can't make that out in videos and all that, but devotees who are personally present, so many testimonials. They say that Prabhupada was a special person. There's some, amazing energy around him, some effulgence, aura. So Lord and his devotees are like that. In other words, Prahlada bestowed upon them transcendental bliss. So when we meet such exalted devotees, naturally we feel happiness. Naturally, we don't have to do anything. It'll start from just simply looking at the devotee, being near the devotee, hearing from the devotee, serving the devotee. Everything will give us happiness. And this is a secret for us to be happy in this world. So I will stop here. And further, Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying that, Hiranyakashipu tormented this exalted, fortunate devotee. Although Prahlad was his son. And then Maharaj Yudhishthira asks, saying that, why did Hiranyakashipu try to kill his own son? And then the whole narration starts. Okay, anyway. So, okay, so we'll stop here. So today we should try to remain in this mood, and what is required, we have to come to this state of full surrender, full faith, give up all the nonsense material desires that we have in our heart, and hope and pray and desire and hanker to become such an exalted devotee as Prahlad. Of course, we cannot become Prahlad. We can follow in his footsteps and become such a devotee that we can be the pleasure of our Guru and Krishna. We should be objects of pleasure, meaning it's like, when parents see their children and they feel happy that, okay, nice, well behaved, this, that, good devotee, like that, Guru and Krishna should feel pleasure looking at us, our services, our behavior, our mood, our character, everything. And of course, then we will experience Lord's presence in our life externally. And these things are what we should desire for, aspire for on this day. So these days are special. They can give us a little bit more push in our devotion. So pray to Narasimha Dev to remove all nonsense material obstacles on our path so that we can achieve perfection in this very life. Shri Narasimha Dev Bhagavan ki jai, Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, if anybody has any questions, comments, can make.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
Uh,
Krishna.
Prabhu, in Ahobilam, we have the pillar of Lord Narasimha, right, where he has
Mm-hmm.
emerged. So,
Mm-hmm.
what I knew is these all Leelas happened on the higher planets because Hiranyakashipu had acquired the throne of Indra, and I mean, our gurus have explained us that from this Ahobilam temple, from this pillar, Narsimha has come out. So, what is the
Mm.
significance on this earth, Prabhu?
What is the significance on earth? Okay, so this we had asked somebody there also, like, sometimes is there, then we see some, we also see in Mayapur, right, in Narsimapalli, that they say that Narsimadev came and washed his hand there. No, Ahobilam is here. Mayapur is there. Now, these things and all we can't completely understand right now. It's not that the structure, it's like Vamadev, if he put one step, he went from somewhere in this creation to somewhere else in the creation. So, these places, when they're saying that this pastime happened here, we should understand that this pastime happened here. Now, but then we also say that, okay, it happened in in the heavenly planets. Yes, it's happened in the heavenly planets. It's inconceivable. It can't, we can't understand with our little intelligence. Um, but it's, if that's what our acharyas say, then that's what it's true. So then we have to pray, saying that one day, Krishna, please give me intelligence to be able to understand some things like this. And maybe there are other exalted Vaishnavas in ISKCON who might have explained, but I am not in that category, so I don't know how to explain. But I know that yes, both of them are true, and just pray for some mercy sometime in this life to be able to understand this.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Is audible? No, not audible. Can't
Ah,
hear that.
Prabhu, can you hear
One
me?
second, one second. One second, one
Ah,
second. How can you make it audible there? There's some share audio, no? No? Okay. Okay, because there's some devotees. We'll unplug. Oh, yeah, when I'll stop the recording.